Oh, come on, Eileen. Sorry. All right, here we go. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Closet Chaos Season 2. 2 for number 2, because our show smells like number 2. How's everybody doing? Thank you for being here, Daddy J.
Most definitely. It's tough being in this position. I understand how Livy feels every week.
Why?
You put so much pressure. Like, are you in here? Get in here now. Like,
I'm a perfectionist, okay? And also,
but it's 10 minutes before we go live. Like, we don't have to be sitting.
Can you guys see my stomach and my waist? Because I don't want it to, but so I have this new phone because, as you know, in Mexico last week, I don't want to have to turn that much to look at you because I have a double chin. Here.
Well, not just step out.
Last week, we went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped my phone in the water. And it was Olivia's fault because she wanted me to take pictures of her. Oh, go back.
No. I'm where you want me to be.
Please. It was just, it was me criticizing myself. Because, if I turn, it's the iPhone.
You look gorgeous, so quit.
Okay. Anyway,
there you go.
Everybody's used to this. Hi, Berry Sweet. Okay, so fix the camera closer. No way. You can see my belly? Okay, the camera's coming closer.
You can't see your belly on there.
They said I could. All right, I'm going closer.
Your belly.
Yeah, what can you see? Okay, come
You're
closer.
You're totally taking me out of this.
I don't know. It's because it's the new iPhone, so it is different. Okay, can you see my belly? Parker,
no.
Tell me if everything's fine.
Everything's great.
Okay.
Oh, Parker.
Yeah, Parker's watching. My people are supposed to be watching. Okay, so hi everybody. Yes, Olivia said she has a rehearsal tonight because Olivia, as we've discussed in previous episodes, she made an EP of 6 songs that she co-wrote,
and they're phenomenal.
And they are phenomenal. Bum ba da bum ba da bum. Okay, and. So, tomorrow we are doing a photo shoot for Olivia's project. Then, Wednesday, she's doing a live recording of these songs with Avery and another guitar player named John. Emma is singing harmony, and another girl singing harmony. It's it's going to be awesome. So, we're going to record that. Listen to me, I'm talking like I'm her momager. I am her momager. Are you
singing on it at all?
No, I wanted to, but she didn't ask me. She's such a bitch. So.
Do we have the beep?
I think you can cuss on Instagram Live. I think it's fine.
All right.
Like, you can't, because.
Right, yeah.
Look, you guys, we're having a romantic evening. Hold on. Slowly. This is my favorite candle.
It smells so good.
Oh my gosh, it's called White Barn, and what's the flavor? Can you see it?
Pumpkin pecan waffles.
The damn papers keep falling off.
Or pumpkin pecan waffles.
Pumpkin, do you guys say pecan or pecan? Only insane people say pecan. Okay, so anyway, Olivia is at rehearsal tonight. Avery is her band leader for this project. And we'll see, we have
all of our stuff.
It's so freaking hot in this house. Mm-hmm. It's hot in the closet. And then we have a ceiling fan on because we're both done, because Daddy J has on Uggs, sweatpants, a sweatshirt, 2 t-shirts underneath the sweatshirt, a scarf
and a jacket
wrapped around his waist, and a jacket and a hat. I have on I don't have pants on, basically, because it's so hot in here. And it's funny because I always wear these shoes for Closet Chaos. Aren't they funny? They're from Free People. They're so cool. But I wear them because when a woman sits and wants to cross her legs, if she's too flat-footed, it's not comfortable. So it helps me to have these. Makes sense. Like I'm putting my feet on something. Anyway, and so we're very excited for Olivia and Avery. And Avery's also doing a photo shoot tomorrow. Because, they're both aspiring
musicians.
All I can think about is how I look.
I know.
You talk.
I can just sit there looking.
You talk and I'll just do this. So Daddy J is great because Daddy J has a radio show that he does Monday through Friday. From 12 to 2. It's the Jay Barker Show. It is a fabulous sports talk show, but it's also kind of like a men's magazine. And you guys talk about everything, but mostly Alabama and Auburn football is like your main premise. Because in case you don't know, Daddy J, and we call him Daddy J because that's the name that my kids gave him when we got engaged. And Ron said, no belly.
No what?
He said, you look great, no belly.
No belly.
I mean, if my belly was showing, it would look great.
Is
Ron,
mine showing?
I'm not kidding, but I'm just saying it's inappropriate. So, so you're great at filling in for Olivia because you're so used to this and you're great at it. You're so great at it that you made a bunch of notes, which I would like to show the people really quick because this is way more prep than Livy and I do. Look, he has all these
outlines
and things that we have to talk about. Now
we don't have to talk about it. It's there if we need it.
Well, you wanted to say a couple of things. Something really exciting. And I went ahead and said it. You wanted to say a couple of things, and I'll just tell you what they were. The mask mandate is gone in Nashville as of now. I have a line right there. What's happening there?
No, you don't.
Yesterday we were in the car.
It's a wrinkle, not a line.
Exactly. Yesterday we were in the car, and Audrey told Olivia that she had a turkey neck, and Olivia almost started crying.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, so Williamson County and Davidson County, no more masks. However, Livy and I went to get our nails done today for the photo shoot, and I just wanted mine done.
These are great.
Thank you. This is my new favorite thing, short and pink. That's the way to go.
Short and pink. I love it.
Like Miss Piggy.
Yeah, Easter, great
Easter.
time for Easter week.
That's right, exactly. Thank God it's almost Easter. I mean, I feel like the world has gone crazy. Do you feel like the world has gone crazy a little bit?
Are you talking to me because you're looking at me in the camera, not here?
I'm talking to you.
No, I know. Yes.
This is how Livy and I do it.
Crazy. Yeah.
The world has gone crazy. It is making me crazy. Starting with, let's talk about Lil Nas. Is that how you say
Lil Nas?
His name? So I don't know this artist. I don't know anything about him. I know he sings at Take My Horse Down the Old Town Road, whatever. I don't know anything about him until all of this came out. Apparently, this guy made... I so badly want to speak back. This guy made a Nike tennis shoe that is a Satan shoe. Okay? They sold made 666 pairs. I was furious. I put something on my Instagram story about it because I'm like, okay, I'm not like a prude or anything. I mean, I have tattoos, and you know, I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm saved. I accepted Christ as my Savior when I was 21 years old.
Amen.
And I know that I'm going to heaven, and we have raised our children to believe in God and to love the Lord. And so this creep comes out with this tennis shoe, and it's got a drop of human blood. And my friend said, you know, I don't know if you want to post about it because it's just giving it attention. However, sometimes I just can't like not say something because you don't mess with that. Like, we are a Christian nation, and
especially during Easter week.
Week, and I was so mad at Nike, and I said, I'm done with Nike forever. Well, then you told me, tell them.
Do you want to read it? You want me to
read it?
All right. Nike sues. Is that mischief? I guess that's what it is, right?
I guess, yeah.
Over Lil Nas, probably Lil Nas X Satan shoes. It says limited edition satanic themed Air Max 97 shoes, the ones that cost more than $1,000, sold out in under a minute and may contain actual human blood. Weren't authorized by Nike according to a suit filed Monday in New York federal court. Nike says Mischief Product Studio, the company the rapper partnered with to launch 666 pair of kicks.
666 pairs.
Materially altered its trademarked product without permission, and it isn't thrilled that people think the company endorses Satanism. Okay,
so I'm glad that Nike is suing them. I mean, good for Nike, because Olivia just bought the cutest pair of Nikes that I really want her to wear in the photo shoot, but I was not going to let her wear them because of Nike. So apparently...
Let me just say a little bit about them. The material alterations include at least referring to the shoe as the Satan shoe, adding red ink and human blood to the midsole, like real human blood, adding red embroidered satanic themed detailing, adding a bronze pentagram to the laces, and adding a new sock liner, states the complaint, which is embedded below in this article. There's already evidence of significant confusion and dilution occurring in the marketplace, including
Did you say dilution?
Dilution occurring in the marketplace, including calls to boycott Nike, that was you, in response to the launch of Mischief's Satan shoes based on the mistaken belief that Nike had authorized or approved this product, which Craig Dunn immediately texted you after
he told me. He said
Nike's not.
Yeah, he said it's not really Nike, it's something else.
So Nike's suing Mischief for trademark infringement and dilution and unfair competition. It's seeking compensatory, statutory, and punitive damages, plus what is that?
Disgorgement of profits
in an amount to be determined, and is asking the court to order that the shoes and all marketing materials be turned over to Nike for destruction. Yeah.
That's good. So a lot of people are commenting that says that and saying Nike has a lot of other issues anyway, and I agree. Nike has done other things that I don't agree with, but I'm glad that they're at least taking the stand. Now, who's to say that Nike's just now trying to cover their asses and like they were in on it? Who knows? Because you can't ever really believe.
There are other artists out there that take Nike shoes and put their kind of spin on things or their artwork, and they call it art. So this, and I told you that last night, is that if they did sue, there is some precedence that they've allowed this, but there may be some things in this that's a little bit different.
Because it's satanic.
Exactly,
it's like, I don't understand why.
But why, I mean, like Halloween, and you release that, not that that's better, not that that's good, but at least the timing is a little bit better. Easter week to release something like this is just, it is all publicity. That's all it is for Little Nas, whatever his name is.
It is. And why, I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, and you know, I'm just going to say to Lil Nas, or however you say his name, it's embarrassing to say his name because no one knows how to say it properly, that I'm praying for you, and I pray that you find the Lord, especially on maybe through this, like, you know, maybe this is the Lord's way of like working in your life. And I'm not trying to sound preachy, but I'm just saying, like, you just don't mess with that. Yeah. That is too far, and it's too far for our children. And so anyway, that's the news with Nike. What else? We have a television show review for you. We watched this now. It's funny because you talk about this topic, which is like so awful, so satanic, so evil, so diabolical, so disgusting, and I can't even think of enough words to describe how truly, truly awful, like making a Satan tennis shoe is. But then you have the opposite end of the spectrum, and you have this show called Welcome to Plathville. And so we have already watched the whole thing. There are 2 seasons, and it's about this family that lives in South Georgia, and they have 9 children, and the parents are just very strict. And so I'm not criticizing the parents for being strict, but I am criticizing them for being overly judgmental and legalistic. So they have children ranging in age from 21 all the way down to 6. The 21-year-old boy is married to a wonderful and beautiful young woman named Olivia. And she just isn't as strict as they are. Like, she's more what they call worldly, but she's a great girl. Like, Avery is already practically married, but if one of your boys,
which Braxton's practically
married too.
So Harrison,
or
Andrew,
yeah. If any of our kids went out with a person like Olivia, we'd be happy. She's great. And so I give this show a thumbs up, a double thumbs up. What do you give it?
Double.
What do you give it between 1 to 10?
Probably 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. It's so fascinating to watch this family and what's happening. I don't want to give too much away, but that is our television show recommendation for the week. That and Real Housewives of New Jersey, which Jay doesn't really watch, but But if you happen to walk in the room when it's on, you do kind of get caught up because.
I admit it.
And they're somewhere in the middle. I mean, there's a lot of gross things that happen. This is what I'm uncomfortable with. Tell me what you think about this. I cannot stand when any television show, and even on Welcome to Plathville, they did this a little bit. When anybody talks about, like, a certain type of sexual stuff, it makes me so uncomfortable. And so on the last episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey, Teresa is selling a certain item that she gives to all of her friends. And to me, that's just too far, because it's just in such poor taste. If everyone could just be perfect like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, the TV show is, they want to know, Welcome to Plathville.
Plath, yeah.
Why do I have
Plath.
this is a new wrinkle, you guys.
It's a shadow.
I think it's also because I got so sunburned and I've got like it's white where the wrinkle is.
You don't have a wrinkle. It's actually, that's what it is. It's white.
Georgia basketball is done.
They're done.
Georgia women's basketball.
Sarah actually had to sit out for the first 2 games. Not because of alcohol issues or
that she's not great.
Right, yeah. So there was no issue besides COVID.
Sarah actually had COVID.
She had COVID, and we couldn't tell anybody. Coaches asked us not to talk about it, and she missed the first 2 games, and they got beat the second game of the tournament, NCAA tournament. Yeah. So the second round, they got beat, and they're out now. But I hated it for her because she didn't get a chance to go to San Antonio to be with her team and to kind of see all, what that's like.
Right.
But they get their what's called COVID year, so they get that year back. So now she still has 5 years to play for in college. So that's good that they're giving it back to the kids and back to the athletes.
Really sick of basketball.
And really, a lot of degrees.
Yeah, I mean,
get those degrees. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we're glad that Sarah Ashley's feeling better, but it's sad that she missed the last 2 games. That sucks. And Braxton and Harrison are doing great. Harrison, as you know, is a quarterback at UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, and then Braxton is a quarterback at Alabama. So yeah, our kids are just music and sports nonstop. That's all we do. What else can we talk about?
I want to go back to Platteville because the parents, we talked about Barry and Kim, it seemed like that I think her upbringing and being around an alcoholic mom.
Yeah, her mom was an alcoholic. Yeah. So which my kids can totally relate to that. So,
but if you grow up around that, I think you become a little bit more, you put up the guardrails, you really watch to make sure that that's not going to happen for your kids, and you definitely don't want to become that for your kids in their life. But the thing about her is that, within that, I think actually, as we've seen, I'm not going to give it away, but with the older one, that he's already experimenting and looking and saying, man, it's, finally free. So you have to be, I think as a parent, be careful not to be too strict, but yet to put here's, what God's word says about this. This is how we feel about this. And, here's some scriptures to back it up, or here's some things that we believe in. And that's kind of the guardrails. And we know that they're going to push, they're going to do things and try to get outside of that. But at the same time, I think just to hear it, but also give them the freedom to experience those things, either not giving in to the temptation, or if they do, then figuring out, why did that happen, and then working through that. So
yeah. My thing is about black and whites or grays in the Bible. You know what I mean? There are some things that are just black and white. Like, don't murder. But the Bible doesn't say don't drink. It says, don't be drunk. I mean, like, there's, we have always parented with moderation with our kids. Like, we expect them to have moderation after they go to bed. We drink till we fall down drunk, can't even... No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. We're walking in the Spirit.
I think that if for instance, like I got hit by a car when I was 8 years old. That would be like if I told my kids they can never go anywhere near a street. We can't have cars. Like, you can't put that on your children. What your life experience was doesn't mean that their life experience has to follow in that.
And I guess my point was that I don't know if Kim realizes, maybe they see it through this TV show, how much pressure she's putting on the kids to where it's going to make them want to do the exact opposite of that. So
another thing I'll say about
because trauma or things that you go through as a child definitely affects you. It affects how you are as a parent.
Yeah.
It affects how you are with people. And I think for her, and then, and as you'll see with her husband as well, and then with Olivia and Ethan, right? Ethan,
you do not like the husband. He drives you crazy.
He drives me. It's the way he carries himself.
He always has this freaky smile on his face. He's like, "Oh, I should never do that again. Mm-hmm. That looks really bad."
Yeah.
You try it. He always has that smile. But anyway, it's a reality show. Enough about Plathville. Yeah. Watch it. It's so good. What else is going on?
Olivia's new album, we already talked about that, right?
Yeah, we already talked about that.
All right. Some other news, Governor de Blasio is going to open up Broadway in September.
What?
Yes.
What?
September is the goal to open up Broadway. That's a long time.
So this is March, almost April. April, May, June, July, August. 6 more months.
Mm-hmm. And that's how she counts on her fingers.
It is.
Yeah.
I am terrible at math. But I swear to you, if that happens with touring... Like, I may just, I don't know. Like, we can't wait that long. The thing
what can you do? I mean, you don't say, I mean.
Like I said, okay, I don't know if I took a picture of it. I might have, let me see. But there's, oh wait, I pushed the wrong thing. Yeah. That's dangerous. I should not do that without Olivia. Yeah. Okay, if you can get on an airplane full of people wearing masks, why can't you be at a concert wearing masks? We are talking about over a year now of thousands of people being out of work. Like bus drivers, lighting technicians, musicians, stagehands, monitor techs. I mean, just, it's really, really becoming difficult to tolerate it because I think we can do it safely. I really do. It's been a year. Yeah. I think Olivia and I started Closet Chaos on March 30th.
Did you? Oh, well, no, you did not.
I think so. So I think that was a year ago. Like, this is our 1 year anniversary. So we should probably, like, after Easter, we should start season 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, back to Easter. We're going to go to church if we can get up in time. And then we're having everybody over. We're going to have a big Easter egg hunt. I'm expecting you to...
Hide the eggs.
Hide the eggs. When the kids were little, we used to fill the eggs with cash. We would have like a $5, $10, $20, and then one egg would have a $100 bill in it. And we
quit doing that.
We quit doing that because we literally, like, the kids almost...
Killed each other.
And they were never happy for the one who found the $100 bill win. And so we were like, well, you know, clearly they didn't listen in church. They're not being giving and loving each other.
Yeah.
Audrey just got back from a week. So we went to Mexico for a week, and then Audrey went straight to the beach for Mountain Brook spring break. And she just got home. Right when she got home, she left, and now she's with her friend. And so my feelings are a tad bit hurt.
I was not the first one she asked to be on tonight.
I asked Audrey because Audrey...
she needs to come on.
She needs to, like, earn her keep. And the whole premise has always been, hopefully, Audrey. So I said, Audrey, you have to cover for Olivia tonight. And she did not want to. And so thank you so much
You're welcome.
For covering. And I'm glad you're covering with me tonight because you know our special guest.
Mark Bright.
We know him very well.
He's awesome.
So Mark Bright is an amazing record producer. Mark Bright and I met because I was getting ready to go in the studio and make A Real Fine Place to Start. And we had Radney Foster on a couple weeks ago, and we talked about how he pitched me that song. He co-wrote that song with George Dukas, and it changed my career. So I met with a bunch of producers, and Mark Bright, are you bored?
No, Gypsy's crying or whining or something. I'm trying to figure out where she's at.
Our dogs.
I'm not bored.
Our dogs are so annoying. Mark Bright came in. We had a meeting. He was my favorite meeting. And unfortunately, this is before I met you. But so Mark produced A Real Fine Place to Start. He produced, what was my next record after that? Stronger.
Was it? No.
No, Slow Me Down.
Slow Me Down.
He produced Slow Me Down. Oh, he couldn't produce Stronger.
No, Real Fine Place, then Greatest Hits. He did Greatest Hits.
No, Greatest Hits was before Real Fine Place. But anyway, when we went in to make Stronger, Mark was already booked, because producers are booked so far out. So unfortunately, he couldn't work with me on Stronger. But then we did Slow Me Down together, and then we did Words together, which is one of my favorite albums of all time by any artist. And that's really bragging. But Mark also produces other artists like Rascal Flatts, Carrie Underwood, Jody Messina, Randy Travis.
Black Hawk was his first.
Got
that one.
And we are so. Do you want to let Gypsy in so she won't whine?
Yep.
The dogs. Sometimes I'm just like, what's the point of our dogs? Like, they're cute and everything, but it's just constant, nonstop work. Whoa. You want to show Gypsy?
Yeah,
this is Gypsy. She is our golden doodle.
She's sweet.
She's a miniature golden doodle. Gypsy, say hi. Say hi. Look how cute she is. Oh my gosh.
So she was whining.
She is really cute. And our other dog's name is Roman, and then we have a cat named Maisie. But anyway, so I love Mark Bright. I can't wait to get him on. Let's try to call him on right now, should we?
Sure, we should.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
how do we do this? Olivia's not here, you guys.
So
view request. Okay.
Is that it? Okay.
No.
You gotta go live with somebody else.
Okay, here it is. I'm gonna do it. This is gonna work.
There you go. Look at you.
What happened?
I don't know.
I pushed it.
I saw you.
Okay.
There he is.
Mark Bright!
And his is
here, let's turn our Wi-Fi's off. Mark, you're
Hi. Hey. Guess who got some new Nikes?
I know you didn't. I know you're a Christian. Oh, I love those. Those are amazing. Did you buy those before or after the Satan shoes came out?
Well, I knew well before, so I went ahead and got these just to counteract all the devilishness of the other ones.
Mark,
you know what? The fact I want to say, God loves that boy too, little Nana. Yeah. He loves that man. He loves that man. He loves
not as much as me.
Or me.
Or you.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Okay, Mark, let's just start by telling people our funny joke between us.
Okay.
So you change your looks all the time, okay? It's like every time I see you, you've got like, you'll have like no beard and hair, and then sometimes you have no hair and beard, or a hat, or a mustache and no beard. And so our joke is that I never recognize you when I see you.
Well, I change it like every 5 years.
No, you don't. You change your look all the time. In fact, those are new glasses that I've never seen.
They are, but glasses are my jewelry.
Yes.
So I don't have any sort of, accoutrements and niceties. So I buy my wife and I buy a lot of glasses because that's sort of.
Do you need them?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mark, I don't need glasses yet.
Who are you people?
There we go.
Isn't that weird? I'm 50. Can you believe, first of all, I just turned 50?
No, I can't. You look so beautiful. Jay looks beautiful too, but you look way more beautiful.
Thank you.
She does.
He's 18 months younger than I am. But anyway, I don't need glasses and neither do you. It's weird.
You don't hardly ever say that to anybody until he complimented you.
What?
You made the point that I'm 18 months younger than you.
I was trying to say.
I got you.
It's shocking because they look so much older than me. But anyway.
Don't believe her, bro. Don't believe her.
I'm telling you.
Mark, we have made some kick-ass music together. I have been wanting you to come on Closet Chaos for so long because I just, like, so much of my career would not be what it is without you. And the way that
mine either.
Well, yes. I mean, we have made some great music together, and the reason that I chose you to produce Real Fun Place to Start was that meeting that we had at Brenner's office. Do you remember that?
I do.
You were just like, I mean, we could have sat there and talked for hours.
Literally.
It's like we connected on such a deep level about everything having to do with music.
We did. I agree. It's like we had known each other for years. It was one of those weird deals where you meet somebody who's like, man, I feel like I've known you for a long time already.
Yeah. Yes.
Did it feel like that? It felt like
absolutely. That. Like we were old friends, and that, you know, we've always been in a band together, and let's just go in the studio and make a record. And so the first album that we made together was Real Fine Place to Start.
Yes.
And I think that's one of my best experiences in the studio. Well, no, Words is probably my best experience in the studio. There are many reasons for that. One of those reasons is that it was my first record that I was making away from RCA.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing it on my own label. So I was extremely, nervous, and there was a lot of pressure. But what I love about you is you never, you're so open to any idea. So there's never like a wrong idea or a dumb idea. You're just like, yeah, that's great. Whatever, you let me be me, but then you help guide me and focus me.
Well, but you know what you're doing. So, it would be one thing if it's like, there are no dumb ideas when they're coming from you, because you know the process, you know how to make records. You've always really known that from an earlier time.
Thank you.
And so it's like, you always have great ideas. Plus you have the stamina of like no one I've ever seen. I'll never forget that moment when we were making that record and you were getting the flu or something. This was pre-COVID. This was like the regular flu.
Yes.
And you knew it was coming on, and you just kept plowing on and on and on for hours. Like, I know I'm not going to be able to sing tomorrow, so I've got to get all this work done tonight. And I kept thinking, man, that it was literally a superhuman moment in time. It was such a beautiful thing. And I've mentioned that to you before. I'll never forget it. I need to digress and ask one question I've always wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Do you go number 2 on your tour bus?
Yes.
Wow.
Number 2 is allowed on my tour bus.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because nobody would ever let me go number 2 on their tour bus. And I guess that was just because of me thing. Like, don't let him go number 2 on the bus.
Well, normally nobody can, but definitely there's no toilet paper allowed.
Okay,
no
I got
what.
you. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a no wiping situation.
Yes. And on my bus, it's only girls.
Got it.
So that also makes a difference. Like, let's just face it. I mean, guys are just kind of
messy and sloppy.
Yeah.
My wife makes me sit.
What?
My wife makes me sit. Going number 1.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Is Jennifer there?
Of course.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
Say hi.
Get in the picture.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't make him do anything.
I will say I was not expecting that question whatsoever. I'm probably red a little bit because...
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
On the bus.
There is toilet paper on the bus.
You
just can't put it in the toilet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That totally, I get it.
Yeah.
Now, that also can pose a problem too. This is kind of disgusting.
It really is. Yeah.
But, if you're gonna do that, but you can't put the toilet paper in the toilet, you gotta have a plan. You know what I'm saying?
Like little Kroger bags.
Kroger bags.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People don't understand the touring life is not as glamorous as you think it is.
Boy, is it ever not.
Right. So, Yes, and thank you for saying that. I will never forget that night because I was getting the flu. And as a singer, once you get your tone, like it takes me, about an hour of singing to get my tone, and I'm like, oh, here it is. And so I knew that if I sang all day with a cold or the flu coming on, that there's no way I'm coming in tomorrow because my voice would be gone. And so we did pretty much all the vocals that night. I mean, I think I came downstairs from the singing booth and you guys were asleep.
I think I was snoring silently, like snoring a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little. But when we turned the recorder back on, all the vocals were there. It was a miracle.
It was a miracle, yeah, because you guys had all gone to bed and I was still singing. And then, of course, we had this amazing experience with our dear friend JT Cornfloss, one of the best guitar players in the world.
Sweet soul. Jay, did you know him?
I did. I got a chance to meet him.
In the studio for Words.
Words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because we brought in Tiger by the Tail, and we talked about how JT and I both came to town at the same time, and we got started, both doing demo work, and he
played on the first record you ever made.
Yes, the first record I ever made, and that solo that he did on Nightlight, I looked out, and my brother Matt, who you know very well, also was sobbing, just sobbing, and then I started bawling, but. We have had so many great experiences. But I want you to tell people, like, how did you become a famous country music producer? Because I love telling people about the behind the scenes people that no one ever sees. Like, you're the man behind the scenes, like making the magic happen and helping the artist so much, but we get all the credit. So what is your story? How did you get started in music?
And Mark, you were a tape splicer, 1993, right?
But that's like being like, I was in the circus. That's like shoveling the elephant poop.
Right.
Tape splicer is equivalent to that in the circus.
Has had a lot of poop talk in it.
Yeah.
It's
really
her fault.
Jennifer, stop it with the poop. Okay.
But when I was a kid, my sister bought Beatles records. And she wouldn't let me listen to them. So when she'd leave the house to go hang out with friends, I'd sneak into her room and listen to those Beatles records. I remember I still have the 45 for Hey Jude, and on the B side was Revolution Number 9.
Wow.
I remember this so well. But I thought, I was, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. I would look at the album covers when we got the albums, and I thought, I don't want to be the Beatles. I want to be the guy that tells the Beatles what to do musically. in my naive way. And that was George Martin. Early on.
Wow.
I knew that performing was fine. It's great. I had no problem being in front of people. I just wanted to be the knob turner geek and learn all that stuff, and sort of live in a room with no windows in it, except for the one looking out on the lead vocal mic.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is what a recording studio is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And so I, played in bands and all that stuff, and then moved to Nashville and many eons ago. And the whole idea was I wanted to get into Christian music. Because I loved Amy Grant and all those, like any kid. I did.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
Yeah, right. And went to Belmont to sort of appease my parents. I took music classes, but I met a guy in one of my classes named John Briggs, who was working at in the tape room at EMI, and he was going to leave and go to work at ASCAP, which he did for many years, as we all know. But he worked it out with his boss that I would take his job, since it paid practically nothing. But I was also working as like an assistant engineer at the studio next door to EMI Music, which is called House of David Music. David Briggs, so they said, okay, we'll hire you if you make the tape copies, the tape splicing during the day, but at night you do our publishing demos for free.
Oh.
So I was making like 11 grand a year, happy as I could be, because, you know, I was in the music business. Mm-hmm. And so I stayed at EMI for 15 or 16 years. I started in the tape room and left as a vice president of the company when I left in 98.
You were the vice president of EMI?
Well, Nashville, EMI Nashville.
Yeah. And for everyone who doesn't know, EMI is a publishing company.
Right. Music publishing company. And, but in 92 or 93, because I was doing all the publishing company's demos, I was engineering and producing them because we really couldn't afford to bring in an outside producer. That's how I cut my chops, learning how to produce. Mm-hmm. We signed a guy named Henry Paul, who had been singing in a band called the Outlaws. You remember Green Grass and High Tides? That was their big hit way back in eons ago. And we signed him, and he got a development deal with Tim Dubois at Arista Records. Tim had these other two guys, Dave Robbins and oh my goodness, I just can't remember his name. This other person has passed away. I loved him, and they had worked with another producer. It didn't work out. Tim didn't like the way it sounded, so he says, you know, Mark, why don't you take him in the studio and see if you can get a sound first? And so Van Stevenson, of course. Van and Dave and Tim wrote the big hit song for Lone Star, Bluest Ties in Texas. Not Lone Star.
Restless Heart.
Restless Heart.
Oh, yes. My God, I love that song.
Yeah, so, you know, these guys, Van and Dave, were really big songwriters, but they wanted an artist career, but they didn't. And so Tim put the three of them together. I wound up taking them into the studio to do demos. Those demos got them the full-on record deal. So Tim said, you know what? You're going to produce this record, Mark. Nobody knows who you are, but I'm going to put my name on it as co-producer to give you credibility. You'll take all the points, though. I don't want any points. You go make a record. I only ask for one thing. And I said, what? He said, don't blank this up. He said, yes, sir. And, of course, the album wound up selling great. And they had several hits off that album. And that was the beginning of my production career.
Wow. I don't even think that you and I have ever discussed that, because usually when we're together, we're just talking about me.
Yes, you and how good looking you are.
Yeah.
Mark, how wonderful your makeup is applied.
All things concerning me.
Yes. And as it should be. And that's why I never got to ask you the question about going number 2 on the bus until right now.
I know. I mean, literally. And I've seen a lot of comments about that conversation. So I'm pretty sure we're going to regret talking about that.
We probably will.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I never would have asked you this in a normal conversation. I thought, let's do this now so I can be at peace and I can know the answer and can know how you roll, you know, and so
how
forth
my
and so
toilet
on.
paper rolls.
Yes.
All of it.
Right.
You had a question?
Well, yeah. So as a producer, I'm from the sports world, as you know, Mark. So
I do know that.
I'm thinking about coaches, offensive coordinators, position coach. I mean, is the producer the head coach, or is that the player,
the producer,
or the position, or is it
the head coach?
Who is the producer
in the studio? The producer is the head coach. So you know, in the movie world, the director is the head coach.
Right. Yes.
And the producers do all the things to get the picture together, like find the location and get the actors. So the director is the head coach. In the music business, the producer is the head coach. But of course, that means that the producer has more bosses than anybody else, because the first boss is the artist, Sara. And then you got the label head, you got the management, you got all the people out in the other part of the world that have an opinion, have notes. Mark, I've got a note for you.
Right.
You know, and so,
yeah,
you know, it's what it is. Somebody's got to keep the train on the tracks in the studio, and that's my job.
Yes. And it's almost like I'm the quarterback. I'm you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're the head coach. Your engineer is the assistant coach, really.
Yes.
People don't realize how important engineers are to making a record. There have been a couple engineers that you had that I did not like working with.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh, very well. Very, very well. And I think that you had good reason because you're the boss.
Well, yeah. Sometimes an engineer will kind of, like, their job is to just sit there and run the gear, but they also have to be incredibly musically gifted to do that, because they have to punch and, have like perfect rhythm, all of that. I mean, an engineer is also a musician, just like a producer is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but sometimes they aren't always open to making changes or, things like that.
They tend to be persnickety.
Yes, they can be persnickety. And I think part of it is that, they do never see the sunlight. Like, they literally live in the studio.
And they all look like Draculas, right?
They all look like Draculas.
Vampires or, yeah.
And pretty much everybody that works on the tech side of music and in television and in movies, do you notice that they all wear shorts in the winter?
Every one of them.
Why do they do that?
It's just like a culture of, like, we do this job, we must wear shorts. I don't care how cold it is. Now, we can wear a big, heavy top, but we're wearing shorts. We're not wearing full-legged pants. We're going to look like idiots in the cold.
If you see somebody in a store or wherever and it's January and they have shorts on, you're like, he's in the music industry. He's in the tech world.
Right.
Clearly. He's an engineer. He's a roadie even. Roadies do that. So all those people on that side of it, that's sort of like their dress code, right?
It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. Okay, so
talk about this real quick. Both of y'all.
Someone thinks he's the producer. No, I'm just kidding.
Just talk to the audience about how you figure out, like, what songs are going to be on the album. How do you come up with, like, because both of you go back and forth a lot on music. You send him stuff, he sends you stuff. Just talk about that process.
Well, I'll start just really quick, and then Mark, you can kind of finish my sentence. I usually start with a central song. So when we were getting ready to make Slow Me Down, do you remember this? We had our publishing, of course you remember, we always have our publisher days where we go in and publishers from all over Nashville, all the different publishing companies will come to us. And, the bigger of a star you are, you can be like, bring me your 3 best songs and that's it.
Right, and nothing else.
And nothing else. And so, but I always feel bad turning songs down. I always feel like I have to say something nice about it.
Every time you did that, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, Sarah, just pass on the song.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Here's $5. Like, I feel bad. But so I usually like to start with or it just kind of happens naturally. There's usually a central song. And for Slow Me Down, that was Slow Me Down. And I'll never forget sitting there and we're listening to the verse and and it goes into this chorus and it's growing and I'm just praying, like, please pay off. Please have a great hook line. And then it says, but if there's something you still need to say, you need to say it now. Hurry up and slow me down. I remember we just went, like, it was so good.
Awesome. Touchdown.
Absolutely.
We've had so many awesome experiences. You are literally one of my most favorite people to go out to publishers and listen to songs with, because generally we were sort of on the same page, and so that made it really fun. And it was kind of fun to say, like, belittle people a little bit, like, why would you play that song?
Right.
Just a little,
well,
like, oh, we're just teasing. Yeah, we love you, but we're still gonna pass on the song.
Yeah, and sometimes when they leave, I'm actually angry. Like, why would they bring me that song? Like, right.
Do they know who I am?
Don't they know who I am? Like, that is the crappiest song I've ever heard. And then sometimes I write some of the songs, and I would think that's where it would be kind of hard for you as a producer. Like, if you hate a song that I've written, but I'm always very open to that. If I feel like everyone has to love the song.
You're exceptionally open about it, and I'll say straight up that you are very good at self-critiquing, particularly in a group situation where, you know, if you wrote the song, and this didn't happen very often, as I recall, but if you wrote the song and you could tell people weren't exactly feeling it, you go, okay, let's play something else. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah, because it's better to make a great record than to have my own song. Right,
and you want your team to be completely on board with you about what you're trying to express as an artist. But you only want to have people in the room whose song opinion you trust.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
And otherwise, it's not going to work.
Absolutely, and that's where you and I are always so in sync, because I trust your instincts. Like, you know, you've never let me record. We have never recorded a song together that I didn't feel was just stellar and, you know, super cool and great and had a purpose. You know.
Hey, do you know what my favorite song that we recorded together ever?
Oh my gosh, I have to guess. Okay. I would guess that it would either be Bible Song or the Sheryl Crow song, All the Glitter Out in Hollywood. What was that song called? Anyway, what is it?
It's not that. It's neither one of those. And because you messed up twice, I'm not going to tell you.
Tell me.
Who,
Jennifer,
me?
text me and tell me.
You know what it is?
What?
Supernatural.
Oh my gosh. Marcus Hummon, and I think Daryl Scott wrote that.
Yes. And it's
I was
magnificent.
It's incredible.
Have you listened to that recently? Either one of you? Oh my gosh, it'll blow your brains out. It's so great. I mean that in a good way. I mean, like.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. Yes, for everyone listening, it's on Real Fine Place. It's called Supernatural, and we had these amazing African-American background singers come in and give us that gospel sound, remember? And
we just told them to come in and just sing, and they did that, you know.
Yes, and I'm always so nervous around them because they sing on so many records, and they've heard, you know, everybody's records in town, and it was just one guy and one girl, maybe two girls and a guy. And then
two girls and a guy.
Yeah, we kept stacking, and they were complimenting me, and I was so just, I mean, it was perfect, everything about it. That song, I have to agree. That and Long Way Down.
Yes, Long Way Down.
We killed that song.
Yeah, we did. We
killed
People,
it.
go listen to this music.
Yeah,
go download it. Go listen to this. This is good.
And then Nightlight, which is on Words.
Yes.
Great song.
I love Nightlight. I Don't Trust Myself. I mean.
Make Room at the Bottom.
Oh, Make Room at the Bottom.
Oh, killer.
Great song.
But, you know, I'll go back. I would say that Bible Song is probably top 3 for me. You mentioned that. I did want to say, yes, you know, that was a big one for both of us, I think, just because of, you know, how it made you feel. Just made you feel good, that song.
Lori McKenna was kind of a new writer. She had that song. She wrote a song for Faith Hill that was a hit. Yep. So everybody was looking for Lori McKenna songs. And I remember I got some criticism for Bible Song because people took it the wrong way. They were like, well, why wouldn't you want a Bible song? And I'm like, no, it just means that I don't want to die young.
Listen to the song, dummies.
Yeah, listen to the lyrics, dum-dums. But yeah, Mark, we have to make another record together, and soon.
Let's do. Like, I'm free next week.
The only time that we don't make records together is when you're booked.
Or when you don't remember my name.
No. I always think of you first, but sometimes you're just, you know, because you are producing. So who are you still currently producing? Carrie Underwood.
Right at the moment, we're just the Christian artist that I've always wanted to work with just called out of the blue. I can't mention his name. His initials are Brandon Heath.
Okay. Thanks for the clue.
Love it.
But I can't tell you. I can't tell you who it is.
So for the audience again, who picks the musicians that plays on the album? Like,
well,
Mark.
Usually I do, except when you have an artist of Sarah's character. I'm not BSing right now.
Yeah.
She's like, we get those players who you want, but I want to make a call. I want to use this drummer from from Seattle. It's like, I can't freaking pay a drummer to fly down here from Seattle. She goes, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it.
Worth it.
And oh my gosh, the guy is, to this very day, he's brilliant. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had with a drummer, and I have you to thank for that. You know, he was magical, right? The guy is magical, and he makes all the other players play up. It's like, I want to play my guts out to match what Matt Chamberlain is playing.
He's definitely inspires them. It's like, back to the sports analogy. It's like when you've got this like incredible wide receiver that just catches everything and like Brady. Nothing goes wrong. No, I'm Tom Brady. Oh, Matt's the wide receiver or something. Totally. Like that.
He's kind of like Lewis Hamilton in Formula One. Ooh, Jay, come on. Yeah.
Exactly. Mark, so Instagram cuts us off at an hour, so I just want to make sure we say proper goodbyes, and I want to get together with you and have dinner as soon as possible. When is touring coming back? Have you heard?
No, I think some people are breaking some rules and coming back late summer, kind of smaller gigs. I know people are doing that, but it's not being supported by big agents yet. So, and some big artists have already canceled their summer tours, which I think is just, frankly, not the best idea. I think we got to get back to living. I think we got to get back to being human beings and having human feelings again, and being able to experience artists like you live, because we dig a hole in our hearts, don't we? When we don't get to hear artists perform.
Play Supernatural. We're gonna leave the show with Supernatural, the song that Mark suggested. Jennifer, oh my God, who's that?
That's our grandbaby.
Oh.
Who had a baby?
Our daughter.
Candace.
Congratulations. Hello, sweetheart.
Aren't I gorgeous?
Yes, she is gorgeous. What's your name?
I'm Harper.
Harper.
Hi.
Harper?
Okay. Are you guys just in heaven?
We are.
Oh,
we love being grandparents, and we spoil her rotten. And
congratulations.
Her T-shirt says, is it?
No, it's
Roll Tide. Oh.
What does it say?
Nat smile. Be cute. Repeat.
The one she had on. The one she had on earlier says, if mama says no, grandma says yes.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You need to get her a T-shirt that says "Bring back live music." Yes. And you just told me that big agents are not supporting it, so now I'm gonna go call my big agents. Right. Mark Bright, I love you to death.
I love you both.
Thank you
so great
much.
to see you. See you, Jay. I love you, Sarah.
You have to say goodbye first with your ex.
Oh, ex. Bye.